Good evening, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. It is November 1st, and I'm enjoying some outdoor time in the evening, and I want to talk about the world's debt. There are a lot of countries in the world, obviously, and every single one of them is at debt. You've heard of national debt, perhaps. The United States has quite a bit of national debt, somewhere in the area of over $20 trillion last I checked. I need to double check that, but the point is that all the countries claim to be in debt. Now, the question is begged, why are they all in debt if, they're borrowing money? Who do they owe it to exactly? Now, there is an answer. There's a cogent answer. The answer is that the framework, the infrastructure, the quality of life, the level of development, and what we call gross domestic product are all funded and founded on this debt. So you can think about it as we're borrowing from, just the bank in terms of negative numbers so that we can build this Tower of Babel. If you're familiar with the story, it goes and goes, but it's flawed. The plan is flawed. And it means that in order to pay it back, we would have to give up our way of life, like quite literally, because everything that we've come to take for granted, all of the established, businesses, the level of civilization, the infrastructure, and the development, like the actual physical buildings and stuff, are based on this debt, the money from it. So it's a bad situation. It's a really bad situation because it continues to grow, and our current model is designed to continue taking from nothing. Basically, our negative numbers, we're in the red globally and nationally. On every national level, every single nation is. So what's the answer? What is the answer? The answer is to start by thinking about what it means to live within your means. What does that mean exactly? Live within your means. Have you ever heard that one? It's a token of wisdom that you might have heard passed down from your grandparents. Live within your means is really good advice because you don't get ahead of yourself. You don't overextend yourself. What does it mean to overextend yourself as an individual? It means to write a check that you can't cash. It means to get overdrawn. Have you ever experienced that? You write a check and you don't have enough to cover it, and suddenly you get hit with fees and embarrassment with the person you wrote it to or the business, and it doesn't work out so well. But that's exactly what is happening. So the answer is to get back to basics a little bit, or at least acknowledge that that would be a solution, unless there's some source of actual productivity and compensation that could offset the debt, like on a very large scale. We're talking, many, many trillions of dollars for the entire world. But that would be, the only thing I can imagine off the top of my head, and honestly, this is the first I thought about it, is a costless production model where things could be replicated like they do in Star Trek. and it's not so far-fetched. It's conceivable. It's not out of the imagination that something like that could exist someday. And it would require a complete overhaul of the basic understanding of economics that we currently have, where there's a free market and supply is supply and demand dictate the price. That would have to be completely changed, because with infinite supply, you could no longer rely on supply to determine what the price is. You'd have to set prices somehow. But that aside, without some kind of infinite productivity for free, I don't see how the debt could be offset substantially, and that check's going to bounce. In fact, it kind of looks like it's starting to bounce just by the turmoil. There's turmoil that is happening kind of all over the place, and it's economic turmoil at the base of it. It's economic because a lot of the social problems that people deal with, including, the basic ones, substance abuse, domestic violence, criminal activity, drugs and violence, and all that stuff tends to surround economic problems and areas in which they are common. So it's not surprising that when there is a large economic problem, there's a great deal of unrest and turmoil, like I said. So it's all connected. You know, we share this small world, and if people don't appreciate how much economics has to do with our quality of life, our collective quality of life, and the peace or lack thereof that we enjoy. So something to think about. National debt. I'm no expert, I'm no economist, but it's a very big problem, and it will at the very least require a redesign of something major. So reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.